occurred to me today that I've never celebrated Halloween before.
And why is that?
Oh, we've got a psychotic serial killer in the family who loves to butcher people on Halloween, and I just thought it in bad taste to celebrate.
These videos are satiric reviews. You don't have to agree, but don't bitch about it.
Alright, so I'm gonna spoil it now. And I know a lot of you aren't gonna like this opinion. I know far less of you are gonna agree with it. I know that if we saw each other in person, you'd probably give me sideways glances just for saying this, but Halloween H20 is by far my favorite Halloween movie. I understand why some would feel differently, but what I don't understand is the people that want to try to act like this is a bad Halloween film. Especially when what came before this was that abysmal The Curse of Michael Myers. Halloween H20, despite what its title may have you believe, has nothing to do with actual H20. So I guess I understand the heat coming from this, from those of you who are expecting to watch this and see The Shape of Water. Or I don't know, maybe a murderous Aquaman. Although, come to think of it, why can't that be done? Why isn't that done? I mean, Jason went to space, why can't Michael Myers go to Atlantis? Contributing VTards, if you have any artistic ability whatsoever, make that happen. Halloween H20 actually stands for Halloween 20 years later, as in 20 years after the night Michael came home. The movie is a reboot of the series following Halloween 2, meaning Jamie Lloyd never existed. But luckily, neither did that whole shitty Thorn Cult saga, so, you know, you gotta take the bad with the good. The movie starts off with the song Mr. Sandman, as did the second movie, and it's followed up by an appearance from Nurse Marion, from the first two Halloween films. She returns home to find that her house was broken into. And you know what? I bet it was when...
Oh, hey.
Luckily for her, she has Joseph Gordon-Levitt as a neighbor, so he can protect her. At first it seems that while the house is trashed, nothing's gone missing. But upon further review, Nurse Marion finds out that her Laurie Strode file is gone. She immediately runs to Joseph Gordon-Levitt, as I feel that most of us would do if we were ever in serious danger.
Jimmy!
But instead only finds the beginning of a body count. As she encounters Michael, the police arrive across the street to check out her empty house. And Nurse Marion's dead, just like that. But we appreciate her cameo nonetheless. Transition to the next day, when the exposition police stop by to discuss the case. And that will be their only appearance in this film. So this is definitely in line with the other Halloween films, because these guys are equally useless. Except their screen time is cut down, so we thank the movie for that.
Michael Myers. Yeah, right.
The opening credits give us that classic Halloween theme we all know and love, with Dr. Loomis's The Devil's Eyes speech from the first movie pasted over it.
I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding.
Which is a fitting tribute to some way include Donald Pleasance in this movie, and also remind the audience the force that they're dealing with. And of course, Jamie Lee Curtis is screaming in her first scene in the movie, because why else do you hire Jamie Lee Curtis? Sorry, no, that's gonna get confusing. Laurie, no, Carrie. What the fuck is going on? Laurie awakes from a nightmare, which I guess is supposed to be symbolic of us, the audience, waking from the nightmare that was Halloween 6. Seriously, that was shit. But it will be outdone pretty soon, just stay with me, guys. Laurie's woken up by her new child, Josh Hartnett. I'm really hoping the new Halloween opens the same way with her new child and granddaughter waking her up. Because in every continuity, this woman just ends up giving birth to a different kid. Laurie and Josh Hartnett, who we find is named John Tate, speak in the kitchen. John wants to go to his school trip at the school in which Laurie is a headmaster. No, I mean a principal, you fucking pervert. To which Laurie declines. There's also some talk of John's father.
It's from your dad.
Birthday card.
It's only 2 months late. I'm impressed.
Dad would let me go.
Well, Dad is an abusive, chain-smoking, methadone addict.
Who would attract someone like that? And just think, he left you.
Which only makes me think, oh, who is John's father? Is it this guy? Was it him again? That curly-headed fucker. You need to stop, Jimmy. Is that even? I don't even know if that was your name. I don't even remember. This is how inconsequential you are to me and this series.
You're a big, fat, curly-headed fuck.
Also, wait, no, pause. How old did you just say you were? 17? The fuck you are. You are the oldest 17-year-old I have ever seen. And I mean, it's not that you're old looking, because you're not. You look young. But you don't look that young. If you're in high school, you got left back a few too many times, man, because you are every bit of 25. I'm serious. You had to have gotten left back a lot. But you know what? It's okay, because apparently so did all your friends. Birds of a feather are dumb forever. Is that the thing? As John and his girlfriend conveniently aren't able to go to the trip to Yosemite, his friends decide to instead meet up and have their own Halloween party. And yeah, that sounds like a hell of a lot better of a plan to begin with. But then that also leads me to the question, who the fuck has a field trip on Halloween? People want to go out and get boozed up. Maybe go trick-or-treating. Probably not the same people want to do those two things. That'd be weird. That'd be very weird. Getting drunk and trick-or-treating.
No musical sleeping bags. No booze. No drugs. No kidding.
Laurie gives a speech to the student body before having her body studented. Look, I tried, okay? I tried, guys, okay? I had to say something about something there, alright? They're not all gonna be winners, alright? I put out 2 videos a week. Give me a fucking break. As she walks the halls, she's met with a guidance counselor, chubby George Clooney. And oh shit, that's the chick from Psycho. Better known as Janet Leigh. Also known as Jamie Lee's mother. But not in the movie, just in real life. Not in the movie, though. After alerting us to her presence and giving us the mother-daughter duo we never thought we'd see put to screen, bloated Bruce Wayne pulls Laurie aside behind closed doors so that the audience can see their dynamic while remaining hidden from others. But mostly, the first thing. He exits after agreeing to meet with her later, presumably because he saw the bat signal go off somewhere.
With her long, slender legs, they climbed high up her skirt, leading to 2 tumultuous, round, melon breasts.
And man, LL Cool J's fanfictions are pretty lame. Thank God he's a better rapper than he is a writer. Or an actor. Also, why is he dating Frozone's wife?
Why do you need to know?
Round melon. What? Now, why you want to label it like food?
Don't you think about running off to doing no daring do?
Ronnie, don't you get your ass fired with...
Great or good, I am your wife. I'm the greatest good you are ever gonna get.
Ronnie, it's unrealistic. This whole writing career is unrealistic.
I mean, both of them are never seen on screen. Could be the same chick. Could be the same guy. How's that for a theory? LL Cool J's actually playing a young Frozone in this movie. Didn't see that coming, did ya? John Tate and whoever the fuck this guy is enter to try and convince him to open the gates. And not even John's Final Fantasy X haircut seems to affect Frozone. Well, eventually he lets up, probably because he's the guy who said yes to the Deep Blue Sea. So let's face it, he's not really a good decision maker. I mean, have you seen the Deep Blue Sea? I know I haven't. Laurie is haunted by jump scares as she makes her way to her date with George Clooney's stunt double, where they attempt flirty dialogue. And keyword, attempt.
I'm tired of my bullshit. I'm a counselor. I'm attracted to it.
Ew. She opens up to him a bit more before he heads to the bathroom, and she heads for intoxication.
Can I get another glass of Chardonnay, please? Today.
Even her son knows she's an alcoholic.
You would have avoided this whole thing if you would have simply scored some of your mom's booze.
Look, my mom's a functioning alcoholic.
Of course, as they're both out in the town during school hours, movie logic dictates that they'll have to bump into each other.
She counts for every...
Charlie, what are you doing here? What the fuck do you think you're doing?
Mom, I'm really uncomfortable with you saying that.
What?
You just admitted to your mom being a functioning alcoholic. If you can adjust to that, I'm gonna go ahead and say you can adjust to a couple F-bombs. I mean, you'd probably have to, right? I mean, my mom's sober and she still tells me to go fuck myself all the time. Also, seeing this scene on cable, it just makes it so much better. The two have a blowout outside the cafe, which feels relatively real.
I don't ask you for very much. Just give me one
Mom,
day!
I've given you 17 years. That's it. That's enough. I can't take it, Mom. He's dead. Michael Myers is dead.
I didn't exactly stay to see his ashes.
20 years. 20 years. Don't you think he would have shown up by now?
Both their points of view here are valid. As a survivor and a mother in fear for her son, you understand where Laurie's coming from. And as a teenager wanting to escape his mother's tightened grip, you can understand where John's coming from as well. But personally, I just think he's extra angry because he just read the reviews to Pearl Harbor. They return back to school where LL Cool J gets in trouble. And don't worry, big guy, they treat you a hell of a lot better on NCIS.
Oh, Jesus.
This movie has jump scare herpes. Wait, is she a teacher or a principal? I'm confused.
But I think that Victor should have confronted the monster sooner. I mean, he's completely responsible for Elizabeth's death. He was so paralyzed by fear that he never did anything.
Also, what high school seniors are reading Frankenstein? I don't care if it is Halloween weekend in a Halloween movie. It's a little out of place. A little bit. After class, his teacher mom, which I don't think is legally allowed due to the possibility of nepotism, has a change of heart and gives him a permission slip for the school trip to Yosemite. But if she's the principal, why does it... It's such a... fuck it, whatever. Thanks, Mom, you ruined everything. God!
There you go.
I wouldn't say that.
Oh, damn it!
Laurie meets up with her real-life mom,
If I could be maternal for a moment.
who was kind enough to bring along her car from Psycho. We get it, movie. She did the thing. I get it. I understand the reference. I'm actually being hypocritical. I don't hate it.
I didn't mean to startle you. It's all right. Well, hey, it's Halloween.
You know, it's Halloween.
Everyone's entitled to one good scare. I've had my share.
Meanwhile, LL Cool J's in the middle of writing his next post on his Jessica Rabbit DeviantArt page.
I want to invade every part of your being. I want to tantalize myself with your sweet nectar.
When a car crashes, I think, into the gated entranceway. This is the worst Three Stooges routine I've ever seen. But to be fair, that might only be because I never watched the Three Stooges movie. Sorry, Sasso, I love you, but not that much. It's not enough. And how does he do that with the car? Is he just using the car keys? I bet it was the Cult of Thorn. And that scene didn't need to go on half as long as it did. It's like these reviews. Could have gotten to the point so much earlier and you chose not to continually. Fuck you. Me? Elsewhere, the guy from ER's brother is checking in on the remaining residents on the school grounds. And dude, if you would have waited a few hours, your job would have been a hell of a lot easier. A lot less heads to count. Some of them might not have even been intact.
What are you two up to tonight?
Well, we thought we'd hit the town, pick up some guys, drop some roofies in their drinks, have a whole date rape evening.
Huh.
I don't care what anyone says, these characters are a hell of a lot better than Tina, Michael, and Rachel.
Sounds good.
Care to join us?
I can't. I'm having my nipples pierced.
Oh.
As John and company hide out for their own personal 4-person Halloween party, actually it kind of sounds lame now, Laurie is met by Tomorrowland's Tomorrow, who brings her the mask of Halloween 3. Ah yes, it's all coming together now. Or it's just a regular pumpkin, one or the other, you choose. After a little time together, it's then that Laurie reveals the big plot twist. That she's not actually Carrie Tate.
My name's not Carrie Tate.
A name that I hadn't heard before this point in the movie. She's Laurie Strode, the sister of Michael Myers.
My brother killed my sister when she was 17.
That's terrible. Take off your clothes.
Is it just me, or is this guidance counselor a little creepy? You're a little too persistent there, buddy. Guide yourself into some counseling, you fucking animal. Okay, guys, if you're gonna have a plot twist, okay? If you're gonna have a fucking plot twist, alright? Then let it be a plot twist to the audience, not just a plot twist to the people in the movie. Like, oh, that's not a big reveal if we already... Fuck it. Whatever. I don't give a fuck it. Fuck it. She explains how she faked her own death, which was originally written into the script to try to fit this in the original continuity with Halloween 4, 5, and 6. Until they realized that by acknowledging those films, you're basically acknowledging the Cult of Thorn is a thing, and Laurie left her only daughter to die in Haddonfield. That factor would make it a little bit harder to feel bad for Laurie knowing that, you know? It's also rumored that there was a scene written in which Laurie would learn about her daughter's death, and then it would lead to her violently vomiting in the school's bathroom. Oh man, we didn't get that scene? Bummer. After a revealing chat, it's then that Laurie realizes that John is the same age when Michael attacked her, which sets off an internal alarm for her. But wait, no, don't you fucking do this to me, okay? How would Michael even know about John's existence? He's allegedly 17 here. Laurie faked her death either right before or right after she got pregnant. Michael didn't know for sure that Laurie faked her own death until the very beginning of this movie. I don't understand how that's anything but just a coincidence. He couldn't have planned that out. He couldn't have patiently waited 17 years until he felt John was right for the killing, because he didn't know about John until very recently. It's entirely coincidental. But this movie plays it as if it's not. Am I stupid? Am I stupid? Let me know in the comments if I'm stupid. What's wrong? Never seen a man in a CGI mask before? Wait, alright, let's pause again. Let's just, for a second, just to talk about this. This movie is the Halloween film with, by far, the most amount of Halloween masks. Mainly because when filming, they used this mask until the test audiences commented on how it's not Michael Myers' mask. Which, yeah, that's definitely true, but where were these test audiences for Halloween 4, 5, and kind of 6? That's what I want to know. Feeling the need to appease these audiences, and rightfully so, they replaced it with this mask, which honestly may be my favorite out of all of them. Despite this, there were a few shots they, for one reason or another, couldn't redo, so instead opted out to CGI over the original mask. The result being this horrific shit. This was a bad call, and they hold on this shot for far too long. So there's no way that it can go unnoticed. I should reference that, you know, this was before the internet was big, so shit like this could potentially go by unnoticed, you know? Like, no one's gonna make a shitty half-hour video on it, you know what I mean? Oh, self-deprecation. In case you were wondering, that character's name was Charlie, and now he's dead. His girlfriend, whose name I don't care to remember, joins him not long after. So they get a real, like, romantic Notebook type ending there, you know? John and his girlfriend are getting their creed on, as one would do in the early 2000s. It was a simpler time, when they decide to check on their friends.
Oh God, what the fuck are we gonna do?
We're gonna call the cops.
Oh, hey, come on, he was just getting to know you. Well, I'm glad your dad sent you birthday money, because you sure as fuck ain't getting any from your uncle after that. You know, it's sad when family reunions are cut short. They're chased down by Michael, who switches between my favorite and least favorite Michael masks in between shots. Laurie and the cousin of the Ocean's 8 guy run in to save them in the nick of time. And oh yeah, we got a trailer. They proceed up the stairs. Laurie takes out a gun, Sam Loomis style, and starts checking the rooms before urging her boyfriend to leave, which he assures her he won't. And oh, hey, check that out. Now he's changing from Michael Myers to LL Cool J in between shots. How's he do it? I don't know. No one knows. It's not actually possible. Okay, dude, that's a sick power. Now dress up as a genie and change from Shaq to Sinbad in between shots just to fuck with everybody. Now George Clooney shoots him, only seeing the first half of the jump cut apparently. But he doesn't live to regret that decision for too long, so it's fine. Laurie tricks her brother Batman Begins style, and come on. Come on. You know that's spot on. Before grabbing her kid and running off. And you thought your alcoholic uncle was bad. You ain't got shit on Michael. Laurie leads her son and his girlfriend, Molly, her name is Molly, guys, back to safety, closing the gates in on them, locking them in and herself out before she turns about face, axe in hand, and calls out her brother. Michael! She makes her way back to the house, seeking out her attempted murderer, and she meets him pretty quickly. And as impressive as that is, especially considering that he's in his 40s or 50s here, I mean, that guy must have secluded himself in a gym. I feel like you could have gotten more out of all that, but fine, you know, your call. Michael chases her again, adding furniture to his kill counter. You son of a bitch, that table is only 2 days away from retirement. Also, I can't be the only one to see this and think,
Greenwald, hit the lights! The switch on the wall beside you!
They clash again, and Laurie even delivers a low blow before tricking him into another room, and coming after him yet again. She succeeds in stabbing and slashing at him repeatedly. So hey, I guess it runs in the family. Now I like this because it shows a strong transition from who she was in the first movie, where whether if she survived or not, she was still one of Michael's victims. Here, Laurie seems like a total badass. While she's just as fearful of the Shape as she was in the first movie, she's equally not willing to let herself be victimized again. And I really like that progression of her character. While the trauma had definitely had a psychological effect on her, it has in one way or another made her a stronger person. And while yes, she does run away from Michael in this, it's usually only to lure him into a trap or just to save her life. So she could lure him into another trap. She stabs at him again before tossing him off a balcony, like in the first movie. Actually, there's a lot of things in these movies that kind of seem to be reoccurring. As a matter of fact, that was one of the biggest complaints about the trailer for the new Halloween. Everyone felt that they'd already seen everything in the trailer done in other Halloween films. Much like how there's a certain degree of symmetry in Star Wars movies, I think the same could be attributed for the Halloween franchise. Things will happen continually, but slightly different. Whether that be running into Loomis out of nowhere, someone looking to escape via a roof, Michael driving a car, Michael intimidating someone in a bathroom, Loomis's speeches, and so on and so forth. To anybody listening, if you can list a few more examples, I know that there's plenty. Let me know in the comment section below. And this time, these ones do have to be true. Laurie comes down to his level and takes the knife from his chest before attempting to plunge it in again. LL Cool J comes back to grab her and tell her that Michael's already dead. Oh yeah, there's another reoccurring Halloween trope. Someone dies, but not really. Like Laurie Strode at the beginning of this movie. Thought she was dead, thought she was Carrie Tate. She's not. She's Laurie Strode. Smart movie. At first it looks like we're gearing up for a typical Hollywood ending. It seems like our CW characters are finally going to get the Seventh Heaven wrap-up that we all dreamed of. I didn't. Until Jamie Lee Curtis remembers what movie this is. Taking a police officer's gun, she demands that Michael is loaded into the truck. Which is what they were doing anyway, Jamie. Don't be fucking rude. She hops in Grand Theft Auto style, and takes off with Michael in the back. She sees Michael twitching within his body bag, just as she suspected. When he emerges from the bag, she stops short, putting him straight through the windshield. She waits for him to get back up before hitting him with the truck, then driving it off the side of the road. Jamie escapes the wreckage as the truck wedges Michael in between a rock and a hard place. Or, more factually, between a truck and a tree. Jamie picks up her axe and heads over to the unconscious Michael. Michael reaches out his hand for his sister's help, and in turn, he gets fucking beheaded. And wow, what a perfect ending to a Halloween legend. And unlike getting burned alive, shot in the eye, shot in the chest 7 times, and falling off a balcony, there's no way for him to come back after a beheading. Game over. Done. Put a period, move on. Gone. Bye. R.I.P. That is, until the next one comes along to fuck that all up. But if you choose to end the continuity here in your own headcanon, just know you're not alone. I do too. And I'll admit that it's not that scary for a horror movie, but it manages to be a better movie than most of the others in the series. The story is paced well, and it serves as a good follow-up to the first 2 films. Though I feel this is kind of similar to the case of Army of Darkness. I mean, sure, it fits in with the first 2 movies, and Ash is just as good as ever. But to a lot of people, it will always be a letdown because of the deviation it took from the genre. I do think there are upsides to this continuity, though. I feel as this is a solid conclusion to the Michael-Laurie feud, and to the series as a whole. The fact that it took time to set up all these characters made their impending deaths seem more impactful throughout. Though I'll admit they pretty much only killed the filler characters. And that was 1998's Halloween H20, 20 years later. And what was meant to serve as a definitive end to the Halloween franchise instead became just another movie that they'd retcon at the beginning of the next. And thank God they did, you know, because why give this a satisfying conclusion when we can make a cash grab just a couple years later? Why not? But it's okay, because I'm sure the next in the series is going to have a great retcon, explaining everything perfectly, and serve as a satisfying conclusion to Michael Myers.
Why the hell you dressed like me anyway? I ain't paying you to be Michael Myers. I'm playing Michael Myers. God damn.
So with that being said, I'm the Social Injustice Warrior V Infuso, and if you like the words that came out of my mouth hole and you too want to become a VTard, don't forget to like and subscribe. There's plenty more where this video came from. Follow me on Twitter because, hell, why not? It's not considered stalking if it's on the internet, am I right? And don't forget to join the Discord. I don't have anything catchy to add to that, but just join it. Just go do it. And if you have a free moment of time and a free $1 to spare, then head over to my Patreon, where for just $1, you too could help keep this boat afloat. And if you don't have that $1, but you do have a free moment of time, then hit the share button. It will help me out tremendously.
VTards, oh.